New on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
I really can't stay, baby, it's cold outside. I gotta go away, baby, it's cold outside. This evening has been hoping that you dropped in. So very nice, I'll hold your hands just like they're ice. My mother start to worry, beautiful, what's your hurry? My father will be pacing the floor, listen to that fireplace roar. Man, you know, I love this time of year. It really brings out the best and the worst out of everybody. Especially when it comes to SJW rhetoric. Yeah, apparently that cancer is still floating around and causing us nothing but ill will and trouble. Not to mention thinking hard for ourselves. But you see, even during the Yuletides, people find a way to louse it all up. Other than that, though, welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Yeah, hey, how's it going, everybody? Yep, welcome back to the J-Man Show. It seems like it's been forever since I've been behind the mic. It's good to see you all again, or at least talk to you. This is your host, Jay, of course, and happy holidays! Merry Christmas! Happy Hanukkah, even though that's past. Happy Kwanzaa! And if you ain't about all this sort of things that are in between, or whatever you do, or happy Festivus for those of you that did what you need to do on the 23rd. If you're not down with any of this, the hell with you then. I am giving my love and charity to everybody. Because I can. And this is the time to do so. So, since I've been gone, apparently I had to handle some stuff out there in the world for a little bit. Of course, you know, weighing that in R&D for J360 TV next year, it's been quite a lot of work. But it has been coming together the way I wanted to. It's just that, you know, while I've been off doing those adult things, which, of course, you know, because I'm not going to call it the way everybody else calls it, you know, just being an adult is called being an adult, taking care of your business, and doing what you have to do. Apparently, we done found something new in society called the F-arounds when it comes to the holiday season. Like, for some reason, people think it's a requirement to be in a relationship with somebody during the holidays. We'll get into that. There are some people that have a hard time with the carols that we sing. Let alone Baby It's Cold Outside is now banned throughout like half of the radio stations around here, and some radio stations in Canada have taken note to do this because apparently somebody falling in love or showing some concern and hospitality to say, well, you know, I know you can't stay. I know I'm attracted to you, but I'm going to open up, you know, my humble abode to you because there's a storm out there. And if you go out there, your parents are going to be wondering why the hell I let you walk in that storm. You understand what I'm saying? You could have stayed the night. And to be honest with you, that girl could have called her parents and say, you know, I'm staying with such and such, whoever's in the song, to handle that little issue. Because you see, according to SJW rhetoric, which everything's offensive and everything is wrong, no matter how much fun or innocent it could be, you look at the lyrics. The lyrics alone says, they say, this seems pretty rapey. This is date rape. This is yada yada yada. Once again, I don't know where these people come from. I don't know where the mindset of them I just don't know, and another part of me really doesn't care, because needless to say, they're not solving any problems worth anything. They're pointing out issues and stuff like that on some topics, but then you realize that, yeah, I better not play PS4 right now. You realize that they're not going anywhere with that rhetoric. You see what I'm saying? Other than to go ahead and distract you and me out here from doing anything because they have a problem with certain stuff. Oh, we're going to ban this song. You know, and see, much like any brands out here nowadays, a long time ago, brands used to stand and hold their own against this kind of stuff. Be like, you know what, we're going to do some investigations and some inquiries on this. Now, that has changed. Ever since 2014, that kind of flew out the window. Because that just seems to be the overall thing. Well, these people have influence. They have money. If we don't make a stand against this, let's just fall over and cater to their whims. Now, the problem with catering to an entitled person's whim is that entitled person will now think that, hey, guess what? Because I got this, what else can I get? How far can I go? You see what I'm saying? Because not only did these type of people mess with Baby It's Cold Outside, because God knows they can't date or do anything great, here they go, they'll go ahead and say, I'm going after Frosty the Snowman next, because why is it a snowman? Why can't it be snow person? Why can't it be all this? Oh, God. You know, the structures that be, the Jennifer classification, the identifying of this and that. You know, like, where do you all come up with all this extra room to say this stuff now? You know what I'm saying? And I know that there's a counter argument to everything, and there usually is, but the problem with the counter argument is it's based around feelings rather than facts. Frosty is a snowman, but at the same time, I didn't take the time to look between his legs to check either, you know, because that's what he always was. And when you look at it like this, if I'll just wait till that great snowfall happens around in DE, right? And I'll go ahead and I'll make a giant snowman for you all, and then I'll put breasts on one, and I guess I'll go ahead and take the carrot and not put it on Frosty's face at the time, and then maybe then we can go ahead and solve that little issue. Because at the same time, why does it matter? He's a fictional character at best. If anything, he's just a symbol of the holiday because of that cartoon special that came on where, you know, he did come to life one day. And guess what, everybody? He's definitely a snowman because, see, he managed to get a wife in Frosty Returns. I don't know why people don't know that. And then later on, when he crossed over with Rudolph to bring in the new year, he had 3 snow kids. And 1 girl. So it's interesting the way people go on to this tangent about things. I mean, I never take the time to worry about whether my fictional characters that, you know, I grew up listening to and seeing on TV have families of their own, or all this new age SJW problems that need to be handled before, like, you know, structures going on in the world need to be handled, you know, such as like jobs, such as saving the environment, such as like getting rid of the government shutdown that could affect a lot of people who work for the government. No matter how partial it is, it still affects quite a huge number. At least the VA will still be open so the veterans can get their help, but the thing about it is that there shouldn't be a government shutdown at all, you know? But that's stories for another J-Man episode. Right now, I'm just making up to say, like, all this kind of stuff here is just ruining the holiday. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like what I said about the greeting earlier. It's just, now people get offended because of anything anymore. I could say Feliz Navidad, and they'll be like, are you about Spanish now? No, I just wanted to say Feliz Navidad. Or I could say Joyeux Noel, and then somebody will tell me something about, you know, oh, that's offensive to Germans now. It's like, give me a break, man. And at the same time, it's not, who the hell are you, Captain Save a World or something? I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do. And that goes for anybody else in the J360 Legion too. I mean, my teammates, should I correct them on everything they say? No. Even if it seems to be PC on things, PC culture is so ridiculous now. It's like, you know, I can understand that you want people to be on their best behavior. But then there comes a point where it's like, you know what? You're making them not be themselves. And in some cases, people are like, well, you know, tell somebody to be themselves is like the worst thing you can tell them because they're just bad people. You know what? Yeah, but guess what? You don't have any discretion over those people. My whole thing is, unless you come in to mess with my purpose and my way of Zen, then you're on my list. And at that point, then I have to go ahead and get rid of you and get you out of my way. So that way you can be out of my order of operations. You understand what I'm saying? I don't mean it in a harmful way. I don't mean it in that whole take things out of context, which is pretty much the main problem of everything because, hey, we all got all this time in the world to do these things. Some of us just like to be stupid. But this time, be smart and put your thinking cap on and be like, all right, this doesn't make any sense here. Christmas carols are important to go ahead and share the spirit of the holiday. Now, you can go celebrate any way you want to. Some people have chosen not to celebrate any holidays. I know a few people like that. But the thing about it is with me, I'm going to celebrate my holiday. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to have fun regardless if I'm with somebody or I'm greeting a certain way or I'm enjoying the Christmas carols I want to be. I can only imagine till the little drummer boy comes under fire because this is about poverty. This is about homelessness. He has no gift to bring. At the end of it all, he had a gift to bring. It was the sound of his drum. Just like how Frosty left and said he'll be back next Christmas Day. But apparently the SJWs don't want that. And if he does come back, he has to be a entitled millennial like a lot of people. And you see the thing about it, as an elder millennial, I like to say is thanks a lot, society, for lumping us all together. Because we don't really like each other. I was Gen Y before this nonsense happened. But what I want to say is this. When you get right down to it, leave Christmas alone. If anything, y'all will just want to mess up Christmas all the time because it's something that people enjoy. Like video games, like movies, like stories, and like anything else. Oh yeah, how come the girl is not saving herself because this is the beginning of the story and she hasn't found that yet? Once her mentor dies, maybe then eventually she can take rank. But until then, how about just shut up and let the thing run through? Like, when you look at this kind of stuff, like, when people are enjoying their holiday and stuff, are you upset because you can't do the same thing because you done messed up how you function in society and dealing with people? Maybe you need to look at yourself a little bit. Maybe you need to, instead of just putting a Band-Aid on your problems and stuff, just go ahead and rip the effer off and just say, you know what? Yeah, I will let my scar go ahead and do some talking for a little bit. Then I can go ahead and heal naturally and get to where I need to be. See, a lot of these emotionally scarred people, they have not taken their time to go ahead and recover from it. Some people are just walking around here with bandages around them. Now, I could go into this a little deeper, and I probably will in a later episode, because not everybody has the same problem, but when it comes to talking about problems, it becomes a competition. I have never understood that crap. Like, when you try to relate to somebody and you talk about, a little bit of pain you got, then all of a sudden it's like, well, this is what happened to me, yada, yada, yada. Well, I was raped, blah, blah, blah. And throw that in there, like, all casually, I've met people like that, and it's like, yo. This is not a competition. This is not a probability problem where one thing happens more frequently than the other. This is supposed to be relating to, which is what is in the word relationship, and which is what a lot of these people that are so mad about that scenario have a hard time forming because they don't know what they're doing. And it's the saddest thing in the world. And then they got the nerve to want to talk about why they're still single. Because you're an idiot. That's why. Because at the same time, you are not making efforts and you're not trying to change from that person that you are, and you have annoyed and alienated people away from you to the point where, guess what? Around this time, you're mopey and sad, and it's all your fault. Life doesn't owe you anything. And as I speak and say this kind of stuff, I'm sure a lot of y'all are probably like, that's not right, Jay. That's not good. That's the way it is. I could go on about the stuff that I went through growing up, but guess what? It isn't doing a damn thing for me. It hasn't helped me build this company. It hasn't helped me to stand my ground against a few things. It made me stronger. It made me realize that not everybody likes me. And the beautiful part is, I don't want everybody to like me. I don't care. I mean, if I got a certain people in the J360 Legion that love me for all the great stuff that I do, I have certain people in the J360 Legion that probably love the other J360 members a little bit more than me. That's just the way it is. And the point is, it's just let that happen. It doesn't really matter, because we're all going to be in the ground eventually, either when the planet blows up, or these world leaders we have around here start going to war for some stupid reason, or beyond anything else that people around here do now. I like to have a little bit of a happy time during the end of the year where I just enjoy the Yuletides. Now, it can get pretty hectic with this because you got some idiots out there, too, who, while doing the SJW stuff I talked about earlier, will find a way to make your day job hell. And it's like, what the hell is this? You know, where they come in during Christmas Eve, and if you're working Christmas Eve, God help you, but if they're coming in during Christmas Eve, and they come in late and wrong, talk about, I want the specialty stuff, and I need it for blah, blah, blah. You should have came early. You should have had your stuff together, because they have a lot of scan and go apps now, where you should have had your stuff together, and you could have had this all done, but you decided to wait until the 24th of December to do it. How ridiculous are you right now? And don't get mad at me just because this is my first face that you son. You know what I mean? Because you just seen my face and you thought that, hey, guess what? I can manipulate this jerk into doing something. And the thing about it is, I do nothing for anybody on the holidays like that. When it's about time for me to go, it's time for me to go. I'm just doing this stuff just to kill time and pretty much just say, well, I need some jokes for my show, so let me go ahead and see how this goes. That's how I am on the holidays, y'all. Especially if I'm in day job mode. Now, when it comes to making money for J360 Productions, it's a little different. You know, I can be myself, I can go ahead and use my college knowledge, but when I'm at the day job, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put that stuff on the show because, you see, I have to interact with the populace. I have to interact with the greatest minds that have ever been made and average people daily. Where they ask me a whole lot of crap that's not even in my area where I expertise at. You know what I'm saying? My expertise, I should say, for lack of a better word. I have to go ahead and I have to look at that kind of wild stuff and I say, you know, where the hell y'all find the time to do this nonsense? I remember walking out there was this kid sitting there like trying to go ahead and say, blah, 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 and say, I have to go ahead and do it. I'm like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at him the whole time. He backs away and he walks away too. He shuts up after I look at him with the death stare. And the truth is that, you know, it's like when you go into somebody's place of business, I'm not going into your place of business and messing it up. I'm not going over there and saying to H&R Block or wherever these nice conglomerate areas you work at and saying, hey, guess what? I faxed my taxes early on TurboTax and I'm just here to waste your damn time. And stuff like that. You don't see me doing that, but hey, guess what? It's a new year coming. Maybe I should become a complete hooligan again. But that's only in my, spare time to do it. I don't wait till the holidays to do this kind of stuff because guess what? I got places to be myself. I got things to enjoy. I got girls to talk to. And the truth is that whether I go home with them or not, it's not really on the game plan. But if there was a frigid snowstorm out there, I'd like to ask him if I could sleep on the couch or some crap. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the guy did say yes. That took a lot of convincing, but you know what? That's just the way it is, right? Isn't that the way we function as society, as people now, as a civilization? Don't we have to convince each other of certain things? Don't we have to, make the option and all that kind of stuff? We have to keep pressing and playing like that with each other just to see, who is allied with us and who's against us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's kind of the way that's kind of how we've always been. And let me tell you something, ladies, all right? Some of y'all are a little too high-strung, just like some of these gentlemen out here are very, very ignorant. The point is this. You keep going for these high-class ideal things, you're going to miss out on important stuff. You're going to miss out on the ones that actually were trying to get your attention. And the thing about it is, when it comes to convincing, some people are more practical than others, and some people live in the real world a little bit more than others. And the thing is, you shouldn't be so high-strung anyway. You need to go find and figure that nonsense out, which is why there's a lot of single people walking around nowadays, because nobody either A, wants to get out of their comfort zone or out of their own ego. Yep. It's sad but true. And the thing is that when you go ahead and you explain that kind of nonsense, don't people get vindictive then? Don't they go ahead and start saying, well, did you mind your own business? Yeah, I just did. I handled yours, didn't I? Lighten up. It's not that serious. We're all going to be in the ground in years to come anyway, and looking back, I can see some of y'all just laid up saying this. Oh, gee, I was such a jackass when I was, And then that's it. Goes to Christmas, past, future, and present, just look at you and say, well, good thing we had to waste no time on that. And I can only imagine until that becomes a problem for people. How come Scrooge was an elderly old man instead of an elderly old woman? And there's been moments where, guess what? That has happened. There have been stories made where they have gender flip Scrooge. And the thing about it is, people are still unsatisfied about it. And thinking about this, it's like, you can't win with those people, so at one point, you really shouldn't apologize for too much. Especially if you're doing comedy. Now, here's another thing, right? When it comes to comedy, here's the point. Stay home. Alright? If you don't want to hear a comedian on stage and all his glory coming out, or her glory, or any of these stories that are coming to anyone, then keep your sorry ass at home. You don't have to be there. Like when I do my live stuff, you know who one of my biggest critics is outside of myself? I will go ahead and tell you, my mother. And the thing about it is guess what? When she has a problem with the way I do my stuff, and little did you realize, she hasn't been around me through my transformative years like anything. And dare I say this, but when it comes to like speaking on your behalf and talking about your expertise on things, you see, she still sees me as the kid she dropped out, you know what I'm saying, after 9 to 10 months in 86. Whereas, it's a little different with everybody else seeing you. And some people respond to you a little better than others do. You see, her whole thing is, she can't handle J-Man being J-Man. Alright? That's her whole thing. I can understand that. But when it comes to other people coming up and criticizing and saying all this stuff, you can say whatever the hell you want, but if you know you're wrong and you get the answer to why you were wrong, you better be willing to take it. Because at the same time, I'm going ahead and I'm putting it all out there in my comedy routines. I don't make jokes like anybody else that I know just so I can be censored and have to apologize to later. Forget you. Forget your feelings. If I ever do live stand-up, which is in the cards, the thing about it is this. If I'm there and I'm performing, F your feelings. You might be offended, but you're not right. And when some people are sitting there doing their thing and doing something to enjoy, there is nothing that says that you're going to please everybody every time and all that sort of scenario. It's just like when some people are not bought into the whole thing about love wins. Love didn't win that day. Oh yeah, sure, gay people had the right to marry in all 50 states. Not complaining about it, but at the same time, I'm like this. I didn't care about my own damn wedding. I don't even know if I'm getting married. I know tons of people out there who are getting it. Actually, no, I don't. Now that I think about it, quite a lot of my people that I know, they're not getting married. They're shacking up. So half the damn time, it's like you sit there for a little bit, you're like, huh. So everybody's out here parading around because people can get married? When's the last time you focused on your marriage and your relationship? Oh, here you go. Mind your business. What was in the public domain? But, I'm not saying that gay people get married is bad. What I'm saying is that when people hide it so everybody else has to be at it, it's like, yo. This is not issue number one. I mean, sure, it's a problem that needs to be handled, but we as the great American society that we are, a.k.a. America, and a.k.a. entitled, and a.k.a. spoiled, we handle it wrong, like we normally do. Which, if you think, a lot of times, even for the holiday season, everybody's like, well, Trump said that we can say it again. Merry Christmas. I've been saying Merry Christmas before this jerk even thought about being a president. You can say Merry Christmas. You're not offending anybody, really, except the ones that are easily offended. And those people are looking to be offended. Just say Merry Christmas. Just say Happy Holidays. Just be about that life. And if somebody's telling you something about it, I'll be like, all right, you know, that's cool, but I don't agree with you. That's cool that you came and said that, but I don't agree with you, and you don't tell me what to say. Get out of my face. That's just the way it goes. Now, a lot of y'all are non-confrontational, but you're passive-aggressive as can be, and you keep that stuff stirred up. Then you throw it on the internet. Then all of a sudden it becomes this big campaign, and then there's another part where it's controversial, because remember, Baby It's Cold Outside that I said to you all earlier? Oh, that's considered controversial now. Because, see, much like any other song out there in the world, it can be interpreted differently anyway. The context is always going to be out of balance. The people who probably wrote this song are long within their grave, and they probably didn't even think of any of that stuff that we, the new age, are thinking of now. And then you just sit there for a minute and you're like, wow, where did you find the time for this? And you see, when it comes to certain people like that, going back to the whole thing with comedians, you don't go to a comedy club just to tell the person on stage to do those soft color jokes for me. The person at the venue is supposed to tell you that. You are somebody that bought a ticket, you sit in your seat and you shut up. And you take it for what it's worth. Just like if you go to a Christmas party. Nobody put that Christmas party together for you. They put it together for people to enjoy themselves and to come around. And if you start going off on a tangent because Baby It's Cold Outside or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Frosty the Snowman plays, then you have every right to pick your big butt up and walk out the damn door. Simple as that. If I ever have a party, and a real party where I'm live streaming and enjoying myself, which is another one of those possibilities, and you have a frumpy problem, you take your frumpy ass on out the door and don't come back. I don't care. Even if I saw you at work, I don't care. I'll be like, that was an awesome party, wasn't it? Oh, you threw me out. Darn right I did. I'd do it again, too. The point about it is, I will throw you out because guess what? I'm not going to lose my fun time because you're an ass. You know? And it's like this. You actually make the time to do this crap. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk to those SJW people. Yeah, y'all make the time to actually make stuff harder for other people. I mean, at the end of the day, you talk about equality, but you can't handle equality. You're out there harassing people. You're out there going on all sorts of, burning at all cylinders, going from 0 to 60 over nothing. Because it's easy to do. But at the same time, you probably need to just shut up and go either to the gym or go ahead and just wash the dye out of your hair, unhook the man bun or whatever y'all do, and just chill the F out. It's not that serious. And if somebody's out there having a party enjoying themselves and you came and you got offended, you can leave. Being offended is what y'all do best. And trigger warnings and all that other stuff. Now it's just above and beyond ridiculous. Got to bring the ridiculousness down a level and start bringing back the enjoyments, the funs, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, well, Jay, you shouldn't say that because J360 Radio could be in trouble. I don't care. J360 Radio, J360 Productions doesn't stop until I'm in the ground, so y'all better stop that nonsense right there. You see what I'm saying? I don't care about that. That's just vocals and voices weighed out to throw at people who are out here trying to live their lives. And considering that I'm in my 30s and I'm doing what I got to do for me, and I've been taking care of me for quite some time, and I'm my own best friend and my worst enemy, hell, I ain't worried about a bunch of other people, and I will use my voice accordingly. Which is what a lot of y'all out here need to do when it comes to taking a stand at things. Don't be afraid to do it. I mean, just understand this. If you're on your deathbed, you're laying there and be like, well, glad I didn't make that party because such and such was offended and dies. Or I'm glad I didn't go and do stand-up or go ahead and do anything enjoyable with my life because somebody would have been offended. Doesn't work like that. Good, and it's a good thing that real life doesn't work like that. Diversity, while a beautiful thing, I don't need to shove it down anybody's throats. You know, differences of life and all that kind of stuff, we all need unity. Yeah, but at the same time, I would try to craft and make unity. And the thing about it is, if somebody talks about you, talk about it back. Have some fun. You're not meant to be everybody's friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm not friends with everybody I know. I'm an associate at best, and at worst, I'm just a guy who comes up and says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and mess with your crap. And then they come in and they mess with my stuff. The thing about it is, we're all having fun, all in good fun. And then friendships develop. But I'll teach you how to do friendships in another episode. But what I'm saying as I make this Christmas special for you all, don't let nobody mess with your spirit. Don't let anybody cause any problems for you. And while we're on the subject, if you're watching certain movies, like Die Hard, for instance, if you see Die Hard to be a Christmas film, okay, F popular opinion. Die Hard is a Christmas film. For me, it is. Die Hard has always been a Christmas film to me. You know why? Because guess what? It all happens on Christmas. I don't care about if it was produced around Christmas. I don't care about none of that stuff. All I know is Bruce Willis is in a skyscraper, barefooted, in a city he has no jurisdiction in, trying to reconcile with his ex-wife, and then all of a sudden, Professor Snape comes in, and he has his goons around, with well-dressed and well-groomed sweaters, I might add, and they're all just trying to steal some bank codes and make a robbery, while at the same time capping off as many different bank associates as possible. And the thing about it is, it's all happening during a Christmas party that his wife happens to be at. And you know Bruce Willis is trying to get back into his wife's good graces, because have you seen that cleavage? I would be working my way to try to be all good with her too. But the thing about it is this: if I got some terrorist that's trying to cap her off, I mean, I'm gonna have to do what I got to do, whether regardless of the holiday or not. And in the end, everything comes together, and the man leaves in a limo. Of course, his feet gets jacked up, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. It was a beautiful movie, happening during Christmas time, and in the end, Bruce Willis won out. I don't care what the sequels say. I mean, you can include Die Hard 2 if you want to, because it happened during Christmas time again. And that was the joke at the end. I consider them both to be Christmas classics, especially as an adult. And I'll include Lethal Weapon as well. The first one. Yeah, so regardless of what people tell you, those are Christmas movies in their own unique way. I mean, you know, you got to think about it. I mean, it is the time to be festive, and I don't think that tree's back there in the house just because of, you know, show entirely. But you see, like, those three are in my top 5 for the year, you know? And the other two are actually The Grinch with Jim Carrey and Gremlins 1. Those were my top 5 Christmas films this year. Now, you can go ahead and run about saying, oh, I don't see them that way, Jay. Well, you know what? Congratulations. You have an opinion. You took your first step into independent thought. Now go away. I could care less. But I decided to bring that up because that Die Hard debate has gotten so ridiculous to the point where you look at the LeBron and Jordan debate, and it's like, you see, one way or another, things are so divisive here that you start saying, you have a point, but here comes my point, and then it starts to devolve into semantics, and then nothing gets solved, like anything that's really important. But for me, Die Hard and the other 4 films I just named, those are top Christmas films. I didn't really care for the new animated Grinch much because, you know, I know that story. I liked how it was expanded upon, like, you know, the Jim Carrey movie was expanded upon. But, like, as soon as I saw the Grinch in live action, anything else about the Grinch really doesn't, you know, capture me like anything. You know what I'm saying? Though it is a tradition for me to see it every year. Man, I got so busy with other things. I didn't even see the Charlie Brown Christmas special this year. Well, I'm going to have to do some high time on that. I mean, after all, you know, tomorrow is Christmas. And I remember when I was supposed to release this episode to you all on December 12th, it just wasn't funny enough. I remember sitting there writing and I was like, nah, I don't care for any of this. And I also had a little difficulty because I was thinking, hey, should it be episode 80 or should it be 79? And here we are on Christmas Eve, and I'm like, even after working a hard day at the day job, hell yeah! The J360 Legion deserves episode 79 from me. And of course, I'm going to give you a Christmas special on Christmas Eve. So you can't say that the J-Man hasn't come through for any of you, and I'm doing it live right now. And I'm going to be doing a lot of episodes live here on Spreaker, and I will, send them on the trail just like any other episode that I have for you all. Because that's how I roll. And in 2019, there's going to be more J360 radio in addition to J360 TV. Yeah, a lot to look forward to from me. And then, of course, I hope some of y'all are out there just getting loaded right now after having a busy day. I mean, hell, I'm drinking water right now because I'm off the wagon, but what I wouldn't do for a nice Heineken or a Stella Artois right now. Yeah, an Artois would be great. Shit, I got to go ahead and pull my chalice out. But look, the thing about it is that, yeah, it is what it is. But another thing that gets me, right? How come people wait so late to just shop for Christmas? Like with this ease of technology and everything else, this fashionably late crap's got to stop, y'all. Get on that stuff like ahead of time so you have more choices. Anybody else just wants to run and ransack through and say, oh, I forgot this, oh, I forgot that. It's funny the first few times, but you see, as soon as you get to part 3, you just don't care, do you? You just want to go ahead and just find a way to just louse this all up. And before a lot of y'all get mad at me or just realize how broke you're going to be throughout the first couple of weeks of January, just understand this. Christmas is one day a year, but how we get there really shows how we all are as people. And you see, I didn't really go all out on Christmas too much this year. Next year it's got to change. I'm going to have to make some time to go ahead and, not just be busy and productive, but you know what, to just go ahead and throw a bash here and a bash there and just go ahead and do, some wild stuff. But by then I've had the money to do that, And who knows, maybe I'll get back off the wagon and just go ahead and say, yeah, yo, I'm loaded. But I know a lot of y'all, special shout outs to those of you heroes out there that work Christmas Eve. Every year, every time. Whether you're in retail or you're in first response. And you see, you got to commend first response because, well, those guys and girls hardly ever take a day off, It's true. I mean, the real heroes are the ones that have to work the holiday. Shoot. And if you have to work Christmas, which I hope a lot of y'all don't, but I know there are people out there that do. Whew. Hats off to you. As a matter of fact, I got to take a drink for all y'all. Because there is no reason for that. Everybody should have a holiday. Everybody should enjoy themselves. Everybody should be cutting open either a ham or a turkey and just gorging to that stuff and getting fat because that's the time to get fat. You can do January's new year, new me BS all you want to, but that is your time to gorge on stuff. That is pretty much, in the law of J-Man, the Great Sweatpants time. From Thanksgiving to Christmas Day, or even Kwanzaa, you are supposed to be out there gorging and enjoying yourself and wearing your sweatpants with glee. If somebody says, you look different. Well, that's where you... excuse me. That's where you just say, damn right I do. I'm bulking up. Yep. Go ahead and load up on your Christmas breakfast, your Christmas dinner, because some of y'all don't eat lunch. I know. Some of y'all is like, yeah, we're going to do the J-Man method. We don't eat anything during the middle of the day, so we can go ahead and make absolute pigs out of ourselves later in the night. And as you should, because that's the way God intended it. And for those of you out there that are not highly religious and say that Christian is for religious people, you are Christianity, can't talk right now, even though I am, that Christmas is only for the Christian folk. You're crazy, right? You don't have to celebrate because of that. That came later. A lot of things you realize that Christmas is an amalgam of different sort of rites of passages around this time of the year. You could just celebrate wintertime. You know? It could be your party for winter if you wanted to. Or you could just enjoy all the days leading to Christmas. And then Christmas, you just chill out. It's kind of what I do at Halloween. It's just like, you know, these are holidays. These are something that are a part of our society. And instead of just trying to throw the censorship up around it, you should embrace it. You should be out there, you know, finding new ways to actually enjoy the holiday a bit. You know, giving back to people, you know, and not just giving back during Christmas, but give back during the summer and spring holidays too. Just go ahead and do that. Like, help out a little bit more than you should. And then, you know what? It becomes more beneficial at times. At least that's what I would do. And, you know, just like sitting here and watching Frosty the Snowman right now and on the PlayStation for a little bit, and I'm talking to y'all, this has been a pretty good growth year. And I gotta admit, like, between the Cyclone and J360 radio leading into the J-Man show, it's been going pretty well. And I hope more and more things happen. Matter of fact, next Christmas, I could go ahead and start doing a few collabs. Oh, who am I kidding? Collabs are always in the plan. And the thing about it is that I am going to be talking to more people and bringing them in on the show. And I would like to get some shout-outs. And you can do that if you call the J360 radio hotline, which is 240-903-1634. Anytime you guys want to do a shout out on any J360 radio show or any sort of, I'll figure it out with J360 TV, but J360 radio shows in general, you know, go right on ahead, man. Just keep it clean, and I'll go ahead and I'll play them at the end of every single J-Man show. And I know that there's some new releases that came out not too long ago, too. Aquaman came out. Yeah, you know what? Hey, I could go ahead and do that. I could go see Aquaman on the 26th. I'm not doing anything tomorrow. Shoot, I'm not doing that to myself. But I do need to go ahead and see Aquaman. I heard that's like the best DCEU movie right now. And as it should be, it's self-contained from what I heard. And, you know, they're not too much focused on this expanded universe. That's kind of the way I want it. I like self-contained stories that are part of a bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I hope that movie just rides out. The Spider-Verse movie has done phenomenally well. Of course, now there's like this big thing that popped up and said like Rotten Tomatoes has found a negative review on it. It's like, you know what? Whatever. That's just somebody that just didn't either get the movie or somebody being petty. And even then, as I mentioned Rotten Tomatoes, and we all know my relationship with Rotten Tomatoes isn't all that great anyway. Just like Flickster, because they're the same damn thing. It's like, once again, we take too much value into people's opinions rather than, like, you know, actually venturing out for ourselves. But you see, Into the Spider-Verse is like one of the best-looking Spider-Man animated films, and it talks about all the Spider-Men and women across this large, universe-wide scale, and they did it right, in animated form. So, you know, you can't take it away from them on that. I would just hope to see a live-action Miles Morales movie sometime around. But, you know, there's enough Spider-Man movies and stuff like that going down. And Tom Holland still has to grow into his own. So, yeah, just have to wait. And also, yes, I'm tying up loose ends. In case you're wondering. Some of the trailers I've seen lately are pretty good. The Captain Marvel trailer has me psyched up for 2019. I know the Aladdin movie, a lot of people are so busy talking about Genie not being blue, even though Will Smith told you that he's going to be CG and he's going to be blue. That's just his human form. You know what? What does it matter? I don't care that these movies that we're seeing are not exact replicas of the movies that we saw back in the 90s that were animated. I don't understand it. Like, if you think about it, Maleficent wasn't even... by the same, Maleficent wasn't exactly 100% the same as Sleeping Beauty. I mean, it told her story and her whole thing, and it was wonderful, but it's like, anytime you see something that is cut pace by pace on everything, you get bored by it. especially if it's like a remake and stuff. Let these things hold their own. I mean, from what I see, they've kind of done this right. And it's probably going to be one of the most enjoyable movies of 2019. Either way, Disney has us, guys. They're going to get our money. Because we have got to see what happens to the Marvel superheroes, and we are so psyched up by Lion King, it's just like, yeah, sure, be petty about Aladdin. And for those of you that don't care about the other two, what is the problem with the Dumbo movie? How come the Dumbo movie's not getting any good looks at things, huh? Yeah, nobody's talking about the Dumbo movie that's coming out next year, which is weird to me. I'm excited to see it. I wonder how they're going to do the crow scene, what with all the SJW rhetoric. You know, I wonder how they're going to get away with that, but maybe there's a way too. But a lot of the ways to do things is just understand where the connotation came from, and, don't let it bother you. Don't let it doesn't best represent anybody. It was wrong then, yes, but at the same time, it's part of history. And it's very, very annoying to have people try to change history into a wrong, you know what I mean? Into a manipulative, differing type of form. And it's not saying that because, I'm conforming to status quo. I'm just saying you don't have a resolution in play when it comes to these changes. If you think about any of these SJWs, if you think about any of these people that are doing these movements out here, you got to question, what is the end game? What do you hope to gain out of it all? And say, like, if you do win, where do you go from here? And I guarantee you, they have no damn idea. Because they just wanted to start the fire. They didn't care about any of the other stuff. And it's easy to do. And speaking of fires, I need to go ahead and throw another log on mine. So, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, y'all. And I want to go ahead and say it's good to be back doing episodes for you all. Episode 80 will happen next week because you're going to get a New Year's special. And hopefully I can go ahead and say much more positive things about that one. But people will find a way to mess that up too. I guess. But I'm going to be warm and toasty. I'm not going to be going out there in the cold, unlike some other people. But I do want to say, thank you all for hearing me ramble a little bit and coming in and enjoying yourselves. It's been a lot of fun making this series. I'm going to continue to make it, as long as I got life in me, I'm going to continue to make this series. I'm going to continue to work on the cycling a little bit. I'm coming back to it. Matter of fact, I've been just trying to go ahead and get this J360 TV together, but I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do for my brand. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the Pottering family and everybody out there who are fans of the J-Man Show and J360 Radio in general. You've all been phenomenal. I hope our bond grows a lot stronger in the years to come, and I'm sure it will because, in a way, we're kind of a family, right? So, Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy Holidays. See you all next week for episode 80. This is J-Man, signing off.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.